Welcome back to Something Private, a podcast for Southeast Asian women by Southeast Asian women, exploring conversations around health, the self, community, and love. My name is Nicole, and I am your producer and host. We're back after taking a quick mid-season break with a really cute episode. Almost a year ago, one of you guys slid into my DMs on Instagram and said, "Hey Nicole, you really need to check out this account, 2momsSG, and feature them on your podcast." I consider myself someone who doesn't really have baby fever, but I do like the occasional squishy baby. I mean, look at this child! I'm in tears. In Singapore, there is no legal recognition of a union between a same-sex couple, although the government claims that it does not tolerate discrimination and harassment against the LGBTQ community. The reality that these couples face show quite a different story. Brenda and Pauline, the couple behind 2momsSG, have been together for almost half their lives and knew at a really young age that they wanted to start a family together. But despite the legal restrictions and the societal discrimination that they face on a regular, their relationship is actually stronger than ever, and it's helped them in making clear, careful, precise decisions in having baby Velda. In commemoration of Pride Month this year, we want to share their story with you. Hi guys!
Hi.
So we are finally behind the scenes. We took 45 minutes to get this whole thing going around, but glad to have you guys on the show today.
Thanks for having us. I'm Brenda. This is Pauline. And this is Velda. Velda is 15 months old. We are behind the IG handle 2momsSG. As the name implies, we are two moms. I'm Mama. This is Mommy. And we wanted to set up an IG account so that we can help other couples who want to try, save some cost, and also share them about our experience.
Thanks for joining me on the show today. I think how I found you guys was actually an anonymous tip-off. Like somebody slid in my DMs like on Instagram, and I was like, I think you guys should feature.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
I don't know who this person is because it's like an anonymous account, but glad that you guys
she's joining our conversation here. When she hears us talking, she'll join a convo.
I see.
Look at this, Velda.
Looking at your Instagram profile, it's very interesting because I can't think of any other couple in the same sex relationship in Singapore that has a child. So I think the first thing and the most obvious question that I think most people want to know is, how did you guys do it?
So we went overseas and we did IVF because we've always wanted kids. So we are not legally married, even though we really hope that one day we can be legally married in Singapore. But for us, because we feel that even if we were to go overseas to get a marriage certificate and all that, when we come back to Singapore, it's still not recognized. So we use that wedding fund for baby making process instead. And we love kids a lot, which is why we specialize in kids events. So we run a balloon company together for the past 13 years. And we just feel that, we love kids so much, having a child is like a must-do for us. And we always feel that we cannot, just because of our sexual orientation and we are just limited to being the best EE or the best to anybody. We always wanted to have a family of our own. And I guess our family unit is what's different from everyone else. But other than that, everything else feels pretty normal to us. We've thought of having a kid ever since 10 years ago.
How old are you guys?
Now?
Yeah.
She forgot.
Yeah. That's true. I'm 31.
And I'm turning 34 this year.
In fact, we wanted kids ever since probably when I'm 18 and she's 21.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we kind of knew the process will cost quite a bit, so that's why we save up over the years and just waiting for the right time to start.
Yeah, so we've been together for half my life. Yeah, we were together when I was 17 and she was 14.
Okay, that's very young. And where do you guys meet?
It's not a very glory moment. We met outside a club.
Yeah. So people always ask us, next time if Velda goes clubbing and she tells you that she wants to date somebody, what will your reaction be? We're like, maybe she'll find the right one there.
And how will y'all... So, which means that y'all have been together for...
This year is our 17th year.
16,
17, yeah.
That's very long. Is it for same-sex couples? Is it normal to have a relationship for that long a period of time?
I think we have met quite a couple of people that's above 12 years.
Yeah. But as far as people around us, we don't think we have anyone that we are really close to that are in relationship for 16, 17 years. Of course, there are others out there, but within our close contact of friends, we haven't heard of anyone else with such long relationship. And I guess one of the reasons why we can be together for so long is because, number one, we have common goal. We knew that we wanted to have a kid together. Plus, we work together. So even though in terms of years, it's our 16, 17 year, right? But I think we're together for like 30 over years because we work together, we live together. Basically, we are just together 24/7.
You mentioned that you both knew you wanted kids since you were in your late teens,
Yeah,
right?
late teens.
Yeah.
And so how did that conversation from like, I want to have kids, but I'm sure of like my sexual orientation lead to, I guess, where you guys are now today?
I think right from the start, it's more of like settling down first. So both of us knew that we wanted to be each other for quite some time, or maybe forever. So since then we started to plan, and because we love kids, and we always hang out with our cousins last time when we were younger. So then the thought of starting a family came to us, but we didn't know how to go about doing it. And then we went to do some research and found out some methods that we can do. It was quite apparent to us that we really wanted to start a family. So there wasn't like a, should we start a family? Or how do we do it? It's more of like a, okay, I think we were going to start a family like
How
at
much?
a certain age.
Like,
how much does it
gonna
cost? And
When we are gonna
will
do
we
it?
start
Yeah.
trying? When will we be ready to try? Actually, we regret not trying earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if
I
you
think we
ask
play
us,
it safe too
we
much,
wish
yeah.
that we started earlier when we were 25. But now that we have her, I mean, we are very grateful. It took us quite a while, a fair bit of tries before we succeeded with conceiving her. But before that, we just feel that because age is catching up, we didn't want to be parents at a very late age. Like my mom gave birth to me when she was 21. So now I'm 34. My mom is only 55. I can see that she's really enjoying her life now. She can go for trips on her own with her friends without bothering about us. And that's what we wanted to have, which is why that was one of the reasons why we wanted to have a kid early. Yeah, then somehow now I feel like I'm 34. When my mom was my age, I was really taking PSLE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's quite a bit of difference, right? And
Yeah.
now I'm running after her.
Share more a bit about like the IVF process with me. So was it something that you guys thought was like the only option available? Because I think for same-sex couples,
yeah.
right, there are other options
Yeah.
available to you,
There's
right?
quite a few options, but we chose this ultimately, the
Yeah.
IVF. In fact, actually, we did not start IVF. We started with IUI.
What's the difference?
Basically, IUI is less invasive.
Okay.
Because it's just using a catheter to put the sperm in.
Okay.
And for IVF, it's more invasive because we have to
Extract
the egg, fertilize it,
Fertilize.
and then put it
Put it
back.
back in. Okay.
So we tried 4 IUIs.
Okay.
I mean, how we started is we started with IUI.
Because
And
that's
then-
cheaper as well.
But going through the process, we realized that I have PCOS, which is sort of
Polycystic
like,
ovarian syndrome.
syndrome.
Whoa,
Yeah,
yes.
We just did an episode on that.
Oh, is it?
I saw that episode.
yeah. So because of that, then I think the IUI chances are a lot lower, which is why I failed all. And that's why after that we decided to move on to IVF,
Okay.
which has a higher chance of success, but costs a lot more.
So I know for IVF, like the process is a woman has to take like hormone injections and then inject it for a couple of days before the eggs are ready to be retrieved and extracted, right? Is it the same
Yeah, that's what we had to do. We have to do hormonal jabs like every day.
for IUI also?
Yes, for IUI, not every day. IUI is just taking a pill, but we still need to take jabs for prepping of the womb and stuff, which is a very tough process for
Yeah.
us.
It's also very emotionally draining for us that period of time.
Yeah, but I believe that's the case for everyone who has been through the process.
Yeah, and to be honest, last time, every time Chinese New Year, people will ask whether you got married, when are you having a kid and all that. After we started trying, then we realized that it's something that we do not want to ask a married couple about or to pressure somebody into having children. You never know. Someone around you could be trying for years and they are not successful. And someone probably has some PCOS or whatever, making it hard for them to conceive as well. So from then, we decided that we should not ever propped into asking other people when do they want to have kids, because sometimes they are having a lot of struggles that they don't know, especially if you are the one taking the jab and the hormonal jab. You get a lot of side effect with like erratic mood swings, side effects like weight gain and all that. So that was a very painful process, very physically draining, mentally draining, emotionally draining, yet financially draining at the same time. So it's everything all in together. It's like a huge roller coaster when you're trying.
It's a test of our relationship.
Yeah. And yet y'all went through.
And we are glad we went through it together, because we have heard of a lot of couples during the trying process. Sometimes, maybe husband and wife or whatever, they feel that, they can't
It's
be
too
in it
much for
together.
them.
It's too much for them to
Yeah.
handle. But for us, because we are in it together, we have to make a lot of sacrifices in order to do it overseas. Yeah, it brought us a lot closer than we expected. Although during the process of trying, we also had our fair share of like huge quarrels and all that.
Do you guys think that there is a difference between you being a same-sex couple versus like a heterosexual couple in going through like the IVF process?
I think there's a little bit of difference because we are both female. So we both know what mood swings are and our PMS period and stuff like that. So it's easier for each other to understand, like it's easier for her to understand what I'm going
relate.
through.
For example, if she say I'm having like very bad cramps, I know what she's talking about.
Yeah.
But for a guy, I think he will never understand. Yeah, so I guess because we are both quite emotional when we are doing the process, then it kind of helped to relate to each other. Like if I have to jab her, I will tell her and I'll express how I feel towards her, and I'll let her know that I'm very helpless and she knows how I'm feeling at the same time, rather than if, you know, one party just decides to not really partake in it. We've heard of a lot of cases where the wives are the ones jabbing themselves. Yeah, but for us, we've been with each other throughout the entire process.
So tell me about how you guys felt after 4 failures, right? When you guys realized that it was successful.
It's very emotional even when we think about it, because
Yeah.
the very first time we went for the process, right, thinking that okay, we will definitely get it, it's not like we are infertile or anything like that, Berlin will definitely hit it first try. Then we were so heartbroken after that, like we were crying like the whole way back. Then the second time we thought confirm can. In the end we failed again, so it was like a lot of emotional roller coaster, up and down,
and then the third and the fourth time is like, okay lah, if they fail, it doesn't matter. You know, we try to keep a neutral mindset on it.
Yeah.
And then when we finally realized that we were pregnant, of course we were happy. But then comes the other
questions
part
of,
where
like,
what if there's a miscarriage, you know, because the probability is also high. So we just kept telling ourselves not to feel too happy about it first and wait until she's really here. Because there's so many things that can happen. And then plus I'm pregnant, I'm so paranoid, right? Every day, feeling whether she moved, whether she's still okay inside, because we've heard stories, you know. So, but I believe so that happens for every mother who's pregnant.
Was she delivered in Singapore or what was the process like?
So I carried her for 9 months. I mean, my food baby. Berlin is the carrier. And
I'm the real carrier.
she's the biological mom.
Okay.
Yeah, so she's the one that delivered the baby.
In Singapore.
And yeah, we delivered in Singapore. Basically, for us, we just need to go overseas for the main procedure. Then when we come back, we have our gynae in Singapore that's helping us.
We've been very fortunate. It has been quite a smooth sailing one. In fact, we didn't get anything negative at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't
Which we
face
are
much
very, very
discrimination
thankful.
also along the way.
I think the team is quite professional.
There were no like questions like
No.
which one of you is Velda's mom? How are y'all related? And stuff like that.
Somehow when we went to the gynae, right, we explained our situation right from the start. So the nursing team and the doctor knew about our same-sex family unit and they were very professional about it the whole time. Although like a few times when I tried to pay at the counter, they will ask me, where's the patient? Then I say, I'm just paying for the patient. She's just there. Yeah, but no questions asked after that also.
So we have an option to choose your sperm donor to the very like blood type or character,
Medical
anything.
history, academics, family background, basically everything about the donor is like in the sperm bank's database. So we decided to just narrow it down to someone that we like.
Okay.
So we started searching for somebody who's very outdoorsy and I mean health-wise, academics-wise, everything is okay. And then we streamed it down to Ang Moh donor.
Is there a particular reason why you chose the Ang Moh donor or is
I don't want to say it because it's so shallow. It's just because they look cuter.
But also because our niece and nephews are mixed.
I see.
So we feel like it's okay anyway, the family can accept a mixed child already.
yeah.
So since I guess she turns out okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how was like the pregnancy journey like for you guys?
I think I'm a weird person because everybody's complaining about their pregnancy journey, but I really loved it.
Okay.
I love being pregnant.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like it's so magical. It is kind of like we don't know whether we will actually be pregnant at any point of time. So the fact that we are pregnant is like the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah, like we are counting our blessings like all the time. Even now when we look at her or when she does something and we are proud of her, we always tell ourselves like we are really very lucky.
Yeah, we're really
It's
very
already
lucky.
not very common that you see same-sex couples being together for so long, and because of the societal pressure, family pressure and stuff like that, the fact that we can be together for so long and have a child is something that we really count our blessings for every morning. But the other set of the problem come when the minute we are pregnant, we start to think, okay, how will society view us? How will Velda grow up? How will we be treated and stuff like that? Then the worry never stops. The minute we are pregnant, we've been worried until now. We're still being worried. We're worried about how is she going to cope with school, how is she going to cope with other kids or other kids' parents. Before we started trying, we also thought, how do we let her grow up in Singapore when it's not so inclusive at the moment? Should we migrate? Should we do this? Should we do that? And then we realized that this is where our roots are and this is what's home to us. That's why we decided to just stay in Singapore and have a child, despite not having many people around us with kids.
I understand that Pauline you're the biological mom of Velda. So in the process of having Velda ever since, right, like the 1 year plus, has there been any like difficulties in, let's say y'all go to like a doctor or like y'all want to enroll her into a school, and then I guess do y'all face any like legal like challenges or like any pushback from like different factions of society that says like, oh, she needs to have a mom and a dad, for instance?
So far we haven't had that because she hasn't been enrolled in a school and hasn't seen the doctors too.
Oh my god.
I shouldn't say that. I didn't want to jinx it, but anyway, we became very superstitious after we become moms.
Yeah.
So anyway, we haven't had any of that issues, but these are stuff that we were ready for, like we were prepared for it. The only thing that we really faced was insurance. Okay. Like we have to get separate insurance because she's not a spouse. So in terms of the legality part of it, to be honest, I'm just an outsider.
Basically, we are just living like I'm a single mom.
Yeah.
And everything just goes that way, except the fact that we are family.
So in terms of those, how do we go about to ensure that if anything happens to me, they will be provided for and stuff like that?
It's more of the practical thing. Which are very important.
Like we've always talked about it. Like, every time when we are in our car, we always talk about, okay, if let's say we get into an accident, then what will happen to Velda?
Correct.
Yeah, what will happen to like
let's
us?
say both of us.
What if she's the one that's in trouble and then it's just me and then I have no power over her and I cannot decide what to do with her? What if it's me and then in the end they are not provided for? Which is why we rope in family support. Like we try to let our family members know that this is our plan. So in case anything happens to us,
we trust that they will fight for the right
So what
things.
is the big plan then?
the big plan,
Yeah.
the big plan is the reason why we have this IG handle because we want to let other couples come and speak to us because every family have their own set of issues. For us, we know for sure if anything happened to me, they will be provided for. Anything happens to Pauline, then I will be able to care for her. Yeah, whether legally
or not legally,
we know that our
both side
families
family,
behind us.
I see. Okay.
will understand that Brandon will be the main care.
Yeah, it's what we talk about ever since we were 20, 21.
It's a 10-year plan, essentially.
We talk about all kinds of scenario, all kinds of like issues that will happen
Or like
when this happens. What do we do?
Yeah.
Or options like what if maybe we break up or some third party come in the picture? What will happen? We talk about all this. Like we talk about the worst case scenarios. So like our planning is all according to whatever we have talked about, such as like what will happen to our company, what will happen to us if we choi pass away, even like planning for a house, planning for everything. A lot of people just come into the picture thinking that, okay, I just want to do it because now that I know of other couples who can do it, I also want to do it, and then just go ahead for the IVF without thinking about all this. Then we feel that it's difficult in time to come because then it comes with all the other issues. Like, we talk about, okay, how will our child be looked upon when we are outside? And then people say, how come you have two mothers? You don't have a father?
Correct.
How will Velda react? And stuff like that. And then we realize that ultimately a family unit needs love. As long as we love her and she knows that, we feel that we can work through everything together as long as our family is united. Because there are different type of family units out there as well, like persons with disability or even divorced parents or abusive families, whatever. Everybody have their own set of stories to tell. And for us, we feel that our story to tell is that we are a same-sex couple family. We love each other. We've been together for a long time, and this is just the next stage of life that comes very naturally to us.
We're taking a short break. Something Private is a podcast produced under media publisher Our Grandfather's Story. Watch our new episodes every alternate Tuesdays on YouTube and listen to us on Spotify, Apple and Google Podcast every alternate Thursdays. New episodes will be published first on YouTube and we'll be publishing once every 2 weeks this season. We've also just launched our new website, so pay us a visit at somethingprivate.fm if you'd like to share your story with us or work with us. Otherwise, you can send us a message on Instagram at somethingprivatepod or email us at nicole@somethingprivate.fm. We're immensely grateful for all the support you guys have given us, and we really couldn't have come this far without you. If you'd like to keep supporting our work, become our Patreon at patreon.com/somethingprivatepod. That's patreon.com/somethingprivatepod. Now back to the episode. Do people ask you rude things? Like, for instance, like, I think one common question people might ask you is like, then who's the mom? Who's the dad, for instance?
In fact, this is a question that we face every day.
Yeah.
Because every time we bring Val around, people will say, hey, how come she looks so angmo, huh? She got
Is that a
angmo
rude question?
father. Huh?
Oh, okay, she got Amo father,
Yeah, yeah.
So we will educate people because we realize sometimes people don't ask
They
the
don't
questions.
ask out of mean intentions, but they are really just curious where and how or how it can be done. So it's more of like educating people every day. It's tiring.
But it's just part of what we want to do and what we feel that we need to, especially if it's people that we will meet over and over again. Like if we bring her to coffee shop and we want to order a plate of food, then the auntie asks, "Ayo, so cute ah, this one your niece ah?" Because especially if I'm the one carrying, they won't think that I'm the carrier,
Yeah.
right? So they ask me, "Oh yeah, your niece ah, her father is angmo, is it?" Then say, "No, she has 2 moms."
Yeah.
Then they were always like,
Huh?
That's always the reaction. Then we
How?
realize that because she will see them as she grew up and their store is always going to be there, we are always going to be patronizing that store. So we'll just explain. Then somehow you feel that people are quite accepting when they know us as people.
We are quite surprised that, in fact, the older generation are the ones that are more accepting.
Okay.
They will give very encouraging statements after you tell them the story.
Okay.
Although it takes them a while to understand the concept of IVF, how do we try and all that.
Yeah.
But
The
the
medical
minute,
part,
the medical part is a bit hard to explain.
Yeah.
But the minute they understand, they are very supportive. And also, I don't feel like I'm not welcome when I enter anywhere. Yeah.
But these are the people that we see quite often.
And people that know us are the people that matter. Because if it's just a stranger, people who will judge are people that don't know you, right? So when they judge you because they don't know us as a couple, they don't know our family unit. If they judge us and they vent it on Vel, then we feel that these are not the people that we want to be involved with as well.
Yeah.
But people that we know of, like acquaintance, and after we educate them, they are all okay. We haven't had someone that after we explain to them the situation
Like,
and tell us
this
off.
is a bad thing. Or
Yeah. That's also like, the good
so
and
far
bad
so
thing.
good. Yeah.
I think overseas same-sex family units are very popular and it's getting more and more common.
Yep.
In Singapore, not so. But us being Asians also means that, people will at most talk behind your backs. They will not say it in front
In your
of you.
face. So I think we are very thankful of that. I mean, they can say whatever they want behind our backs, but at least not to our face. And even if it's to our face, it's fine, but at least not to the child.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Pauline and myself, we are very strong-headed people. And we believe that, whatever comes our way, we'll just
deal with it.
I'm very shocked that y'all said that and this is me, skeptical about the older generation.
Yeah.
Right? I feel a bit skeptical that they are so accepting. Why do y'all think that is the case?
We feel that maybe they've reached a certain age of life that they feel as long as we are happy doing what we are doing, they are just supportive.
And does it mean that the younger generation has been less accepting?
Okay, not that they are less accepting, they are okay, but usually they tend to keep comments to themselves.
I
So
see.
they will understand the situation and then they will leave it as it is.
Yep.
But they will not offer encouraging. It's not that we want to offer encouraging stuff also, but that's just what we've picked up based on what we observed this 1 year.
Yeah, the older generation really try their best to,
I see.
like after I told the coffee shop auntie that we are same-sex family, right? Every time we go, she will make sure that she will say, "Oh, Mama bring you
Mama,
come
yeah,
and buy
correct.
Oh, where's Mommy?"
Yeah.
Yeah, they will not ignore it.
Ignore it, yeah.
Like as though we didn't tell them this before.
Yeah, correct.
I want to ask about your families because I think that it's very interesting that you guys have, I think, firstly been together for so long, and then secondly, made this independent decision. What were your family's reactions, to, I guess, you guys being together from the start? And then
Yeah.
I think at the start of our relationship, our families probably thought that, it's going to be a passing phase.
Yes.
We will not be together for so long and all that. Initially, I also didn't think that we'd be together for so long. I mean, I'm also surprised that we are still here. But I always remember how Pauline bring me to her family.
okay,
So we met the first day underage clubbing. 2 days later was a school holiday. Then we went on our first date. Then the next date, right, the second date, she brought me to her family gathering already. I walked into her family gathering. She didn't introduce this is Brenda, my friend. She just said, "This is Brenda," and left it there. I was like, wow, this girl is quite cool because she just brought me in and then I just mingled with the family. So I always remember how she just bring me to the family without, fearing that she cannot show me to anyone or stuff like that.
I think that's also because her past relationships are all quite underground.
I mean, because we were young,
yeah,
right? We were
correct.
just teenagers.
So it's very different. For me, I never wanted to hide.
Yeah. So because she didn't hide me, then I felt like I shouldn't hide her too. So yeah. Then now when we decided to have a kid, we feel that we shouldn't hide her as well. So we did all the
I
announcements.
don't know, maybe it's just us. As
Like your personalities,
yeah,
right?
correct.
Yeah. So means the minute y'all were together, all your families knew as well. Like they were like,
Of course, we didn't
Oh,
go
we
out
didn't,
there
yeah.
and say like, oh, this is my girlfriend. Yeah, we just bring each other to our families. By and by, I think people know lah. It was not like a I have to purposely come out to you situation, but more of Berlin is just always there. Initially, they probably thought that she's just super close or whatever, but the minute we wanted to have a kid, anyone who don't know should know by now. After a few years, you know, when things start to get a bit more serious and we are really becoming more stable in our relationship, that's where, you know, families start to question how long are we going to be together? Will Pauline ever marry and start a family? What will happen to us when we suddenly break up or stuff like that? Then come the decision when we decided, okay, this is the time that we want to start trying. We wanted to make sure that Velda knows that we love her and we don't want to deny her. So we don't want to just go ahead and try for a baby without letting any family members know and then come back and say she's pregnant.
Yep.
And also we feel like maybe people will think that we're trying to cover up. Maybe she had a one night stand and she cheated on me, then she got a baby. So we didn't want people to have that kind of thoughts. So we discussed with our family up front. We let them know our plans before we even went for our process. And we're lucky that our extended family members are also quite accepting.
in essence, y'all never officially had the conversation with like your immediate parents.
They just know. I mean, so 10 years ago when we first started helping out at Pink Dot, right? We chanced upon, we didn't know what Pink Dot was for the first 3 years. Until the 4th year, then we were like, okay, what's this? Then we went down to help. So from then, we decided that, okay, the feeling of being at the different Pink Dot events was really very heartwarming for us.
Yep.
And we decided to just like, you know, tell our parents. So one day I decided to have this
Sit down,
serious talk
yeah.
to come out to my parents. And then my dad just tell me, you think I don't know me?
You think I'm stupid?
Yeah. Yeah lah, we know what.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a,
Oh,
don't need to
okay.
address it. It's just like they know
Okay.
it.
They did ask us, like maybe our aunties will ask like, how long is this relationship gonna be? Is this serious? You need to start thinking about life. But I think we stand firm on the fact that we are going to be with each other
Yeah.
for long, just like any other couple.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, we can't tell what the future will hold. There may be breakups and stuff. But at the point of time, we would want to be with each other.
Yeah, although we did
And
feel a
we-
bit hurt when we told them that we wanted to start a family, then some family members will tell us like, actually just the two of you is good enough already. Why you all need to go and have one more child? Why
But
you all
that's-
want to have a kid? But then again, if it's a normal straight couple, no matter what, you will encourage them to have kids. You won't tell them like, oh, it's very difficult to raise a kid and stuff like that. But we know that they do it out of good intentions because they are just worried about
They're
how
worried,
will be discriminated.
what will go through and what the child will go through. I think they are
We
quite
know the
worried
intentions
about-
are
yeah.
good, but at that point in time when we heard it, we still feel like a bit.
For
A bit
sure,
sad,
for
yeah.
sure, for sure.
Like, why can't we have a family? We wanted a family since we were 9.
But now that we have heard, then people are telling us like, you all should have a second one.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that really helped a lot.
She changes things.
Yeah,
She really
changes
brought the
everything,
family
yeah.
together as well. One of the tries that we did overseas, right? My mom actually came with us.
Okay.
So that was also quite good. lah.
Was it because she wanted to support you guys? Or
I guess that's her way to show that she's supportive.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
as Asian parents, I don't think they will like, say it to us, oh, we're very supportive of you. But it's more of them being a part of the process and also anticipating the positive.
Before we went into it, we also thought that, okay, what if like, our family members deny our kid?
Yep.
Yeah, maybe they don't tell people that this is their grandchild. Then what happens if maybe one day they are outside with Velda and their colleague come along and then they just pretend that they are stranger, or they don't say who's the son-in-law and stuff like that. We started to realize that, the questions that we should anticipate is not just the two of us,
It
but
extends
for
to your
our
family.
family.
To the entire
So
family,
we
yeah.
decided to sit everyone down and ask them, okay, when people ask you this, what should you answer? Yeah, we start to educate them on the proper saying.
Yeah.
What should they reply?
Yeah.
But we are very glad because like our siblings and our mums, they are very okay with it. I can bring her to my mom's workplace and her colleague all know that she has 2 moms. Yeah, and I guess like it's quite a heartwarming feeling for us. We have had people talking behind our backs to say that, we are very selfish. We are making a very selfish decision to have a child because this child is innocent. We shouldn't bring an innocent life into the world knowing that she's not going to have a father. How will she grow up without a father? But these are just comments that they have, and they can keep their comments to themselves because it doesn't really affect us. And ultimately, we know what we want to do. Our goal is just clear cut.
Yep.
And as long as we have our loved one support, everything else don't matter to us.
And I guess in the journey, what were the most like heartwarming moments that you guys remember?
We were really overwhelmed when it was Velda's first month celebration. We had a lot of gifts from people that are trying to show us that they care and they are supportive. But what was really the best was Berlin's grandma's brothers, kids, prepped some food for us and sent it down to us. Yeah, even though these are extended family members, we know that they are really using their actions and bringing it over to us because they know that I don't know how to prep the food. Yeah,
For the confinement.
For confinement period, because we did the confinement ourselves as well with the help of her mom for 2 weeks. Then my side of the family, also my extended family members were overseas when they heard about our birth announcement. We posted everything online because we know that if her stomach gets bigger and bigger and there's no answer to it, then people will start to talk.
Correct.
So we did everything as what a normal couple would do. We did our birth announcement, the gender review and stuff like that. And when we announced her name, right, my extended family members also made customized gift for her, even though they were away and they were overseas, and waited for us when we meet to pass it to us. I think this is us feeling that they are telling us that they prepared something for her. She has a lot of customized gift. People are like our client turned friends, our close friends, or people that we have lost contact with for a period of time, extended family members that we see probably once a year, preparing stuff like that for her. Now that's really heartwarming. Like we didn't realize the extent of support that we had all along until when we had her first month celebration. And it was during like close to circuit breaker period. So people were really sending stuff, like they order online and send it over to us.
And I guess then what does that kind of show you guys about like our society in general? Because I think there's like a huge, I mean, you're part of it, right? Like a huge ongoing debate about like legalizing 377A and like how some of the other existing laws will end up marginalizing your general community and, you know, lack of support in general. So since there's so much positivity like in the support that you guys got from your immediate and like surrounding circles, right? How do you guys feel about it?
In terms of like repealing 377A and all, it's still a long road ahead. But for now, we are quite simple. We feel like maybe also because we are in our own bubble, we feel like as long as Singapore can become more inclusive, the legal part of it is something to be worked on. But it doesn't have to, be something that we are focusing on and rushed into all the time. As long as people that we meet on the streets can be more supportive and more inclusive, or rather just keep their bad comments to themselves, that's good enough for us for now. Part of me hope that before I pass on, I will at least be a legal parent to her. But if there's something that cannot be done, then I just have to deal with it, because we came into this baby making process knowing that this is what we need to do. And this is probably I'll be denied a lot of rights as a parent, but we are just prepared for it.
We are making this episode in commemoration of Pride Month, and I think we want to extend our space to like our allies and stuff like that. So my last, I guess, question to you guys is, do you have anything to say in regard to being two same-sex parents with a child in a country like Singapore?
We just hope that Singapore can progress to become a more inclusive society, so that kids like Velda will be able to grow up happy and healthy, and also don't face that much discrimination, which is also the reason why we are always at every year's Pink Dot giving out balloons, because we just feel that that feeling of just being there is always a very happy one. And we just hope that this can translate to the rest of everyday life compared to just being at a one-off event. Then also, if any couples out there want to try for a kid, they can also come and speak to us. So we can share them, like how we go about doing it, whether is it for family or for work, because we realize everyone have a different set of things holding them back for trying for a kid. But at least if they hear from our story and they know the difficulty or how are the process, then it can help them plan better.
I think you guys would be able to advise them on like the procedures that go along, what are their options available.
Yeah, and save money, not to spend unnecessary cash.
That was why we even wanted to do this. because we thought if there was like a place or someone that we can speak to, which we are very fortunate, we did speak to a couple of families before while we were trying to get a better understanding of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and after we have her, we have people reaching out to us and tell us, hey, I also know of another couple who has a kid. And then slowly, we have a small network of same-sex families in Singapore. And we want her to know that there are other kids out there that are just like her. And they are all in just healthy, happy family.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Bye-bye!
Thanks for tuning into this week's episode. If this episode made you smile, give us a thumbs up. Being in the studio with Brenda, Perlin and Velda for a whole afternoon really allowed us to witness what great mums the two ladies are to baby Velda and how much they really love her. So this coming Pride Month, we want to keep amplifying the voices of our friends in the LGBTQ community. So if you have someone that you'd like us to feature, or if you want to share your story with us, drop us a DM on Instagram or a message at our website somethingprivate.fm or email us at nicole@somethingprivate.fm.